What's up guys, welcome back. This is Anime Crossover. You'll be watching What If Naruto Was a Kryptonian in Marvel, and now let's begin. Naruto chuckled softly as he observed Felicia's graceful landing on her posterior and her playful pout directed towards him. "You seem to be quite pleased with yourself," she said, with a pout on her face. "What do you think?" Naruto replied, taking a seat next to him and casually sipping from a water bottle. She felt her hand being gently squeezed as they watched Peter practicing with Terraspin, soaring through the air. Unfortunately, he quickly plummets to the ground and reverts back to his original form. "Ouch," he exclaimed, clearly in discomfort. Despite receiving Spider Monkey's DNA, his transformation has not granted him any actual powers in his normal form, leaving him weakened. He proposed providing him with the Super Soldier Serum to enhance his ability to protect himself in his regular state to some extent. He reluctantly agreed when he described the multitude of individuals who consistently caused havoc in his life. Now, he was concerned about him losing control and causing chaos with interdimensional beings. Victor is currently working on enhancing his existing technology with some of the resources he has received. With the power of Vibranium and Uru, he surpasses all expectations and achieves remarkable success. He has created armor that rivals the power and sophistication of Iron Man's Endo Sim armor. By incorporating elements of magic, he has developed a suit that he believes can provide him with a fighting chance against formidable adversaries. Peter, thoroughly examining the various features of his watch, he has consistently pursued a highly prepared approach. Flashback begins. "Peter, what did you want to discuss with me?" he inquired, taking a seat beside him on a chair in the backyard of the house he had arranged for him. "I considered your input," Peter started as he sipped on his soda. "My life has been challenging from the beginning. I have experienced financial hardship throughout my entire life, and it often felt like I faced constant challenges from the world around me. You mentioned that it was because these inheritors and other beings like them exploit us to the fullest extent possible," he says, scowling at the memory of that unfortunate incident. "You mentioned that this watch was a gift, a token of appreciation for all the sacrifices I've made," he said with a chuckle. "There was a particular incident where a time traveler from the future established a company named Alchemax. Miguel O'Hara, the Spider-Man from the future, made significant efforts to ensure my survival, despite my initial reluctance to heed his advice." He began explaining the events that unfolded, emphasizing the gravity of the situation. "Only he and I are aware of the heroic act that saved the world from destruction. I didn't fully consider the extent of dissatisfaction in my previous life. Once the ordeal concluded, I regained my original memories. I was surprised by the noticeable differences. In my previous life, I had the support of my parents, aunt, uncle, and sister," Peter said, reflecting on the unfortunate circumstances he and the other spiders faced. It saddened him to see how unfair the universe could be. "In my personal life, both my parents left me in the care of my Uncle Ben and Aunt May. They departed for Europe and tragically ended the life of the pilot of the private plane they were aboard, all while orchestrating an elaborate scheme to assume new identities and begin fresh chapters in their lives. My sister, who is older than me, suddenly disappeared one day. I later discovered that she had joined various organizations, starting with the CIA, then SHIELD, and eventually Hydra, where she rose to a leadership position. This revelation left me feeling overwhelmed and helpless, as if my life had been completely upended with no one to support me. My first girlfriend, fiancé, Gwen Stacy, betrayed my trust by being unfaithful with my former best friend and her own father. Both individuals were responsible for her pregnancy," he continued, mentioning that his dad had twins and his former friend had a daughter. "My life is in complete disarray, and that was just a fraction of the challenges I've faced," Peter remarks, setting his soda aside. "Peter, life can be challenging at times. Trust me, I struggled with it every day," Naruto said. "I understand the challenges of not having someone to provide genuine support or comprehend your experiences," Naruto reflected, recalling his initial existence. He appeared quite out of place among his own people, like an animal in a zoo. Something unusual, unfamiliar to them. He strongly disliked it. So life seems to disappoint everyone," he thought, feeling a bit down. "Indeed," Naruto replied, casually savoring a sip of his own soda. End of flashback. After receiving the Super Soldier Serum enhanced by Vita Rays from Naruto, he should be back on his feet in just a few minutes. "So, tomorrow?" Felicia asked, looking at him with anticipation. He greeted her with a warm smile, causing her cheeks to turn a shade of pink. "Tomorrow," Naruto replied, confirming their upcoming date. She smiled more and exited the room. He grinned to himself. He was fully committed to pursuing his remaining adversaries and embracing a life of fulfillment. Next day, date, and time. He was patiently awaiting Felicia's arrival, along with the other girls who had been up since 6 a.m., diligently preparing for the day. It's almost 8, and he is nearly done preparing breakfast. Naruto has dedicated a significant amount of time to honing his skills and now desires a well-deserved break. He smiles as he can hear their footsteps approaching. The other girls will also be out shopping for items for their dates. Felicia approaches, and Naruto greets her with a smile, to which she responds with a smile of her own. "Is breakfast ready?" He mentioned it, to which she nodded, and the other girls came down still in their nightgowns. Upon sitting down, they immediately started eating. Shortly after, Felicia and he departed for our date. He accompanied her to the movies, and she opted for a horror film that turned out to be quite disappointing, despite the decent CGI. They strolled through the city for a while before reaching Central Park, where they opted to have a picnic. They spent a solid 2 hours engaging in a deep and meaningful conversation about a wide range of topics. She informed Naruto that she had severed ties with her mother. He was completely unsure of how to advise her, as Naruto had never encountered a mother figure before. However, he understood the importance of removing toxic individuals from her life, as they have a tendency to bring you down. Amongst the other girls, third-person point of view. "I'm not certain it will function in that manner," Hera responded telepathically to Amora's inquiry. "I mean, it could work, but I honestly have no clue how to control it," Hera continued, gazing at the clothes before her. "I mean, Hercules gained his strength from drinking from your breast milk." Jean was mentioned with a hopeful tone. Hera let out an exasperated sigh. "That is indeed correct. However, it is important to note that within my area of expertise, I am closely connected to Naruto as if we were married, allowing me to harness his power." Hercules possessed immense physical strength, which he diligently cultivated through rigorous training throughout his mortal existence. "I must warn you all," Hera cautioned Jean, Amora, and Natasha, "that consuming my milk could have explosive consequences for your bodies." Is there a way to mitigate its impact? I found myself somewhat interested in Amora's milk, although I wasn't particularly concerned about it, considering Naruto had already discovered a way to enhance them. After extensive experimentation and the acquisition of power bestowal from the serum, he referred to his newfound ability as Superman Vision. He successfully enabled them to harness solar energy indefinitely, much like a kryptonian. He ensured that it would enhance their ability to regenerate, their stamina, durability, and intelligence. Many of them declined most of the powers rather than requesting a later arrival of the powers. Hera's powers over marriage granted her a unique power set, reminiscent of Naruto's abilities, albeit in a diluted form. Despite lacking innate control over her powers, she has made significant progress in mastering them under Naruto's guidance. She is doing this for Naruto and the others as well, demonstrating her dedication and professionalism. She understands the deep bond they share and their affection for Naruto, including Natasha, who initially had a casual interest but has developed genuine feelings for him. She is curious to see how their relationship will unfold. She is aware of Naruto's genuine love for her. It is evident that he truly loves her, as his emotions and thoughts are transparent. She has a strong desire for Naruto to start a family with her. However, she is aware that he will not be having a child anytime soon. Nevertheless, she eagerly anticipates it. "Hey, I regret to inform you that the entire date arc has been cancelled completely because of my lack of skill in writing romance. I attempted, but unfortunately, it did not yield the desired outcome." The time of the convergence. Naruto's perspective. I shouted loudly. "Well, this is quite embarrassing," remarked the Ancient One, delicately sipping on their tea. "It's quite concerning that Thanos managed to acquire the Mad Marquis of Jaspers for some unknown reason," I exclaimed, gesticulating with my arms, still in a state of disbelief. "We must locate Thanos immediately," I stated, as my knowledge of his involvement stems from my presence alongside the Ancient One during the reinforcement of certain seals within Marquis' prison. Out of nowhere, Thanos appeared and launched a surprise attack with astonishing speed, matching my own without any enhancements or additional powers, just raw speed. Then, I witnessed a truly unsettling display of his newfound abilities. He has become quite capable. In addition, he has reached a similar level of expertise in Marvel magic as I have experienced. His technology is also something to be cautious about. It reminds me of the technology in Apocalypse's ship, which I haven't had the opportunity to work with yet. It is likely that he acquired some of their technology. I'm curious about how he manages to conceal himself from my 10th metal. I should be able to observe him if I concentrate, and even the soul trace that I placed on him doesn't provide any information. I must prevent him from gaining more power. I shake my head as I bid her farewell and swiftly make my way to my stronghold, putting it on high alert for potential conflict. I have developed additional energy sources for the fortress and conducted a thorough inspection of the all box. Everything is going smoothly, I confidently state after a quick assessment, which provides me with all the necessary information about the amount of nth metal it has generated. Approximately 1/10 of the Earth's surface is currently. I am extremely dissatisfied with the level of service provided by the 10th metals. The convergence is imminent. I require a minimum of 5 infinity stones to expedite the process and effectively enhance the rate at which the north metal is generated. I acquired a counterfeit time stone and took measures to harness sufficient energy to enhance my time manipulation capabilities to the fullest extent possible. Currently, I am exercising caution in its utilization. It has significantly improved the production of nth metal, although there is still room for further enhancement. Moreover, it is greatly enhancing the power of the other stones. I have no choice but to do this, I mutter to myself, letting out a sigh. I efficiently retrieve blueprints for armor designed specifically for the girls. Once I finish making all the necessary adjustments, I teleport to my forge. I utilize all the resources available to me. I will create sacred gears for each of my girls and, with some additional practice, craft a brand new sacred gear for Peter using his Omnitrix as the foundation. It was surprisingly easy to accomplish. I did mention to him that I would eventually do this. I promptly returned the watch to him and efficiently created the suits for the girls. Constructed with a combination of rare and powerful materials, including uru, proto-adamantium, mysterium, and nth metal, along with fragments of 10th metal extracted from my personal armor. I efficiently retrieve the cores for each of them. At first glance, they appear as luminous spheres of white glass. Each of my girls has a hair for every individual orb on the inside of them. I carefully arrange them in each suit and ensure they visit each one. The suits have a simple appearance, but there is more than meets the eye. The technology inside is Omni-Tech from Ascalon, which admittedly doesn't offer much on its own. However, when combined with the sacred gear orbs, it has the potential to adapt to other multiverses in the event of unforeseen circumstances. I ensured that the device is equipped with the latest technology and features a self-updating database connected to the fortress. I promptly send them out and notify the girls about it. Given the task at hand, it is highly probable that I will come to regret my decision. I am going to have a meal. The zone has fulfilled its purpose, but due to one of my projects, it is now obsolete. I discovered a safer and more dependable approach to exploring other multiverses, in large part, due to the assistance of Angstrom Levy. He possesses the remarkable ability to generate portals that connect various universes and even traverse the empty spaces between different realities. I successfully developed technology utilizing his unique abilities. However, the void is where I am headed. With my expertise, I can confidently send my modified probes using all box and Omni-Tech, ensuring their safe arrival at their intended destinations. I made modifications to connect them directly to the fortress, which was quite challenging. However, I can now conveniently use them for traveling back and forth. I shake my head as I teleport to the zone and place some of my all boxes on them, completing the task. I swiftly severed the connection to a multiverse that holds little significance. Somehow, I stumbled upon the Friends multiverse and decided to quickly check out the all-box teleportation. This works incredibly well. Honestly, it might appear as a drawback, but it doesn't bother me. My mastery of space has reached new heights. I effortlessly traverse between various multiverses using my own unique abilities without relying on any external means. Ha ha ha, I chuckled softly, relishing the ability to effortlessly travel to any multiverse I've previously explored using my teleportation skills alone. I keep the all box with me at all times, just in case I find myself in a sticky situation. I return to a rather unique multiverse. A person with a distinct bald head wearing a yellow costume and a white cape. I would like to remain in this location, but I must address the matter of Thanos before doing so. Ignore the individual currently observing me, to whom I simply gesture rudely in return. Good luck with Saitama, I say to God, chuckling at his close call. He remains silent, yet his evident curiosity about my identity is palpable. I return home and start preparing to fully immerse myself in the zone, regaining my strongest advantage once more. My personal autonomy. As a realm lord, I willingly relinquished my mortal status when I bound myself to the zone. This decision came with certain responsibilities and guidelines to adhere to. However, I am now poised to experience a newfound sense of freedom. I initiate a portal to the zone through advanced technology and commence the Ouroboros process. I don't sense any physical sensations as the zone reaches me via the portal. Deep within me, significant transformations are taking place. I sense a physical sensation of bloating, but my inner self readily adjusts to it, allowing the process to continue. It will be completed within an hour. I no longer hold the title of a realm lord. I have complete freedom to move and act as I please in this multiverse, even more so than before. It's time to track down the Mad Titan, I declare, feeling an immense surge of power coursing through my very being. Commencing Operation Mad Hunt, I declare aloud, prompting the fortress to swiftly command the synthezoids in space to initiate their search for Thanos. Their vision extends to encompass entire solar systems and even galaxies. Using my advanced skills, I access my storage of nth metal and apply it to enhance my 10th metal. As a result, I am able to effortlessly explore countless dimensions at an incredible speed. I've located him, I state, my gaze fixed upon him, and a displeased expression crosses my face as my eyes flare with intensity. I efficiently utilize my cosmic awareness to observe his actions. The Marvel zombies he restarted that and now possesses zombie universes, prepared to invade this universe. I gather all the synthezoids at my disposal and proceed towards him with utmost determination. I exude a commanding presence as I effortlessly traverse the vast expanse of space and time, accompanied by my formidable legion. I am determined to confront you, I shout, traversing through multiple dimensions to find you. I can still vividly envision him erasing the memories of the Mad Marquis of Jaspers and seamlessly merging their identities. I am unable to prevent it at this time, but that does not imply that I am incapable of causing harm to him. I deliver a single blow, but he barely flinches as the fusion process concludes. In response, he swiftly strikes me in the face, and once again, I am met with a sharp surge of pain. Hello, longtime acquaintance. I confidently wear my helmet, concealing my face, and embrace the fleeting sensation of relief from the pain. I notice a valuable gem in his left hand, capturing my attention. The Soul Stone. I confidently approach him with a sword in hand, a smile on my face. Please try to prolong your survival, I remark as I skillfully spin my sword and deliver a strike towards him, only to be met with his swift block using a remarkable blue gem sword that halts my attack effortlessly. I like it, he says, struggling to push me away. I call it vehemence as its opposite is called serenity from a failure of a god, he says, which piques my curiosity, but I suppress it. Let's go, I confidently stated as I readied myself for the upcoming battle, sensing the pocket dimension quiver in response to our formidable presence. We shout as we charge towards one another. Third-person point of view. Two formidable entities collided, causing ripples across the dimension they inhabited, capturing the attention of beings from other realms. Naruto intimidates them, his expertise, his potential, the document he has prepared, an individual who strongly dislikes being tied down to anything associated with destiny. An individual who remains steadfast and resolute, refusing to be swayed by the desires of others. This entity must be dealt with in a professional manner, either by bringing it under control or eliminating it. They are currently observing a conflict that is causing significant disturbances not only in their own dimension but also in other dimensions. They can only hope for his success. Naruto's perspective. Wow, how did he become so powerful? I found myself facing a challenge at first, but soon my skills kicked in, and I managed to push Thanos back. I sensed the presence of other entities observing our surroundings. I couldn't help but think about the nature of our encounter as I fiercely battled against Thanos. In a swift motion, he conjured a black hole that separated us, leaving me no choice but to strike with all my might. I accelerate my pace and propel myself towards him. I observe him with a smile on his face, and within moments, he stands before me. I haven't used the Speed Force energy in quite some time, but as I tap into it, the familiar white and black lightning gracefully dances across my body, merging seamlessly with my being. I skillfully manipulate probability in my favor during this battle, causing a crimson aura to envelop me before it recedes back into my being. I successfully thwarted Thanos' assault using my sword, sensing his desperate attempts to manipulate my very existence. Employing my own mastery of reality manipulation and harnessing the power of the 10th metal, I shielded myself from his malevolent influence. He frowns and I respond with a smile, delivering a firm punch to his face, leaving a lasting impact. Damn you, he cries out in agony as I witness the Marquis of Jasper attempting to assert dominance over him. This isn't enjoyable anymore, I inform him, swiftly delivering a kick to his chest before he can respond. I need to take care of him and the Marquis immediately. I will not allow them to get away. I focus my energy on my sword, ready to strike him directly in the heart. Just as I am about to strike him, a vision suddenly appears to me through the 10th metal. He has a pleasant smile. Fool, he says, as I find myself unable to resist the urge to stab him. I delve into his mind, carefully navigating through his memories. I witness a blinding light as I observe his actions, and within moments, he self-destructs. No, I exclaim as I desperately attempt to return to my residence. He deceived me, he allowed himself to be eliminated by me. Kong, they were both in this together. Kong skillfully manipulated the Infinity Gems to divert my attention towards him, effectively concealing Thanos from my sight. Thanos traveled across the multiverse and encountered a version of Stephen Strange, who intended to merge with numerous beings to protect Dr. Palmer. Unfortunately, Thanos swiftly eliminated this version of Stephen Strange. Thanos assumed his position and consumed a significant number of them. I continued to make attempts to return to my place of origin, only to witness the fragmentation of my home universe into 3 distinct timelines. There is a standard MCU, but with the inclusion of mutants. One is with Spider-Man from my universe. The other is the MCU with a greater level of involvement from the gods. Damn you, I mutter, frustrated by Kang's efficient expulsion of anything or anyone not native to those universes. I can see my synthezoids in my fortress floating around alongside Peter and Sable from Earth 616. I go and place them in the fortress and swiftly utilize my abilities to attempt their fusion. But Kong is employing the gems to prevent this from happening. Naruto, what is happening? Where am I? I hear Jean and the other girls asking the same question. How did I end up in Olympus? I am aware of Hera. I am at my mom's place, darn it. Felicia states. I have returned to Asgard, Amora exclaims. I provide them with a detailed account of the events, skillfully merging 3 different points in time and presenting them in a cohesive manner. Ladies, it is crucial that you eliminate Kong, who is located at the end of time. Before he successfully navigates the conclusion of the timelines, there is a risk that our universe may cease to exist. I inform them as I grapple with assembling them. I can only hold them together. It's quite challenging. If any of you require assistance, you can find it on Anathema. Hera, I taught you how to make a fortress crystal. Create one, and you'll be on your way there. I informed her. Am I able to utilize the Speed Force? She inquires while I sense the girls attempting to focus, but they are preoccupied with their own concerns at the moment. Yes, however, Kong has taken precautions against me. If you attempt to go alone, he will undoubtedly overcome you, I warn her as I continue to struggle. I have to go, girls. I believe in you, I inform them while maintaining my focus on the task of preserving the universe. From Jean's perspective, Jean, are you doing alright? Emma inquires as she observes me emerging from the restroom. I will be okay, I assure her as I head somewhere. Anywhere is preferable to this mansion. Once I step outside, I swiftly take flight as I call upon my sacred gear. Jean, I hear a voice call out, and I glance back to see a guy with red-tinted glasses who appears rather unpleasant. I disregard the unproductive area and proceed to a location to create a portal. I am frustrated with this Kong for interfering in my life. Hera's perspective. Why? Inquires Zeus, who made an unwelcome advance towards me. Be quiet, I assert, before swiftly and decisively severing his head as the other Olympians watch in astonishment. Excuse me? I inquire with a serious demeanor, despite the overwhelming emotions that well up inside me at the sight of Demeter's resurrection. However, my focus remains steadfast on my current family, as they take precedence over this illusory one. You just killed him, exclaims Hestia, whom I almost tear apart for, leaving me behind. Sure, would you like to be next? I ask her with intense animosity in my voice. No, she stammers, and I simply nod before swiftly flying out of the throne room. I started creating a Naruto-inspired crystal-like object. I hope he is doing well, along with the rest of the girls. N.A. Didn't see that coming, did you? From Jean's perspective, I smoothly sidestep as Apocalypse unleashes a powerful blast in my direction, almost eliciting a chuckle from me. Naruto gave me a heads up about this individual, but it appears that he is quite easy to handle. I told Amora, who was on the ground, struggling to restrain his horsemen. Be cautious, Jean. Naruto also warned us that this apocalypse becomes more powerful over time and has a slight ability to adapt, she reminded me, and I took a deep breath, ready to get down to business. I confidently swipe my hand, which emits a vibrant red-orange glow. With precision, I unleash a powerful slash of pure psychic energy, effortlessly cleaving my opponent in half. However, thanks to his impressive regenerative abilities and ability to adapt, he is able to repair himself. It appears that he was quite drained by that, if not almost everything his body had. Amura successfully eliminated his 4 horsemen and retrieved the death seeds as Naruto had informed us. I believe Naruto will be interested in examining these items. Amura carefully stored them in a pocket dimension. Jean, please eliminate him immediately and ensure that you retrieve his memories. Amura says, and I can't help but smile, as this fight was already dull from the start. I swiftly soar towards him, outpacing his reaction time, and retrieve a crystal from a hidden dimension. This crystal is utilized by Naruto and the other girls to acquire essential equipment. This particular crystal has the ability to replicate and store an individual's memories while also removing any unwanted effects or influences, ensuring that no unpleasant surprises are left behind. I skillfully strike Apocalypse from behind, swiftly transferring his memories to the crystal. After completing the task, I reduce him to ashes and witness his soul attempting to flee. However, I call upon Anathema and swiftly strike, ensuring his permanent destruction. That was underwhelming, I remarked as I flew over to Amora. Well, it's unrealistic to expect every single one of them to be strong. She confidently started to cast a teleportation spell, only to be abruptly interrupted by a powerful hammer crackling with lightning hurtling towards her. However, I effortlessly halted in midair using my telekinesis. I firmly grasp at its molecules and proceed to dismantle the hammer as a strong, blonde man descends towards me. With effortless power, I swiftly blast him away. I observe the hammer being disintegrated at the atomic level. Impressive, that hammer has proven its strength by defeating numerous enemies and enduring unimaginable forces, including the destructive power of a supernova. Seeing it destroyed so easily makes me feel quite disheartened. She starts talking, but I interrupt her because I'm determined to teach Kong a lesson for making me wait to be intimate with Naruto and attempting to disrupt our lives. Come on, we need to hurry, I explain, to which she acknowledges with a nod, and before long, we are on our way out of here. Felicia's perspective, I swiftly strike at one of the necks of a shield agent, swiftly incapacitating him. I gracefully navigate the room while Natasha swiftly eliminates yet another agent, her armor seamlessly materializing around her. She may not possess the same level of strength as me, even without my complete armor, but she efficiently eliminates another agent. Together, we proceed with our mission to eliminate them, aiming to lure Kong by disrupting his cherished sacred timeline. We must continue moving forward. I am confident that someone will take notice of the significant number of them that we are eliminating, she whispered, her voice deliberately altered to conceal her identity for the time being. Hera's perspective, I skillfully severed the head of another deity, deftly catching a spear thrown by one god and swiftly hurling it towards another, striking a goddess squarely in the forehead and piercing through to the other side, ultimately impaling the groin of yet another god. I am defeating the powerful deities of Omnipotent City. I couldn't help but feel a sense of ease as I skillfully dispatched numerous deities, taking my time with each one. Throughout the battle, I remained vigilant, recalling a valuable lesson from Naruto. In a moment of vulnerability, it is often overlooked that after triumphing over an adversary, individuals pause to seek out their next challenge or simply take a moment to catch their breath, he shared while instructing me and the other girls during our training session. I skillfully defeat another deity with numerous limbs and discard them. It suddenly occurred to me that I had forgotten about Seraphal. Naruto, do you know the whereabouts of Seraphal? I inquire with him briefly. Where is she? He inquires. I found her, and I must say she is quite clever. He stated after a brief pause, from which I promptly started gathering information. She was meeting with Victor Von Doom to discuss business matters when they unexpectedly found themselves transported to a nightmarish dimension under Doom's control. She will be arriving at my location shortly, with Doom providing assistance to Felicia and Natasha. I am concerned as I witness the immense power that Von Doom has acquired. Admittedly, he is pursuing those who sought to enslave him and seize their power for his own. However, Naruto still doesn't have anything. I won't be making any changes at the moment, but I appreciate your support. The revision of this FIC will be completed once it is finished. Hera's perspective. Wow, things really took a turn for the unexpected, didn't they? I remarked to Jean as we successfully developed portals to alternate timelines. I can understand why Naruto found dealing with time manipulation to be quite challenging. It sure did, Jean said, exuding an air of composure. However, I could sense her frustration and anger as she longed for a chance to interact with Naruto. Frankly, I would feel the same if I hadn't had my opportunity prior to her before all of this occurred. So, what's our next step? Felicia inquired about the person responsible for summoning water as she proceeded to cleanse her hair of blood. Naruto instructed us to locate this individual named Kong, eliminate him, and retrieve the gems to resolve this situation, Amora states, revealing a set of tools crafted by Naruto for such unforeseen circumstances. As screens pop up, we observe the chaos that has been unleashed on these timelines. We may have taken things too far, I remark, observing Felicia ruthlessly, dismembering someone's head and using the remains as makeshift baseballs, while effortlessly punching through the bodies of others. I shake my head as Jean starts to show a slight frown. What seems to be the issue? I inquire, maintaining a professional demeanor. I have always maintained a strict control over my connection to the Phoenix, but lately, it feels as though the connection has become somewhat subdued. Thankfully, I still have some energy remaining, but I prefer to conserve it for now, she says, her fists clenched as a vibrant pink aura envelops them before she lowers them. I acknowledged her presence as we observed the screens. Look over there, Amora gestures towards a particular screen. I remark, observing the presence of chronokinetic energy on the screen, a familiar sight for me at this point. However, the energy signature in question originates from the Time Stone. Naruto clarified that the stones scattered throughout the universe are counterfeit, while Kong possesses the genuine gemstones. I shake my head and concentrate on my own time powers, drawing from my connection with Naruto as I begin to trace the energy. As a professional, I quickly assess the situation and take stock of my surroundings. I seize the last bit of energy and swiftly pursue it to Kang's location. I can envision him in his office, vigorously pounding on his desk out of sheer frustration and anger. We open a portal there with some difficulty, a task that requires a certain level of expertise. As soon as we enter, Jean swiftly launches an attack, causing him to be forcefully thrown back before she pulls him towards her. From Jean's perspective, finally, I exclaim with a sense of satisfaction as I firmly grasp his throat. I acquire a memory crystal to capture all of his memories. I attempt to understand his perspective, but I find it challenging. I frown slightly as I observe his helmet and proceed to break it. I receive all of the information about the gems, and my eyes widen in awe. This collection of infinity gems possesses a unique quality within the vast multiverse. While there may be other gems similar to these, if not identical, what sets them apart is their exceptional ability to function beyond the confines of their own universe. Indeed, the power of gems diminishes as they venture farther from their home universe. In the presence of their own original gems, they will inevitably be outmatched in any alternate universe. However, it is truly remarkable that they can be utilized in various contexts. I swiftly locate their position and swiftly pierce the crystal on Kang's head, causing him to collapse to the ground. I share the gem's location with my colleagues and gather them. Unfortunately, Jean Seraphal will not be able to attend. She is handling the situation with some of Kang's army that he sent to attack me so I can maintain the timelines properly. I reassured Naruto that he would be safe, but I realized it was time to stop fooling around. Hera, Amora, Felicia, Natasha, and I obtain the gems and deliver them to Hera. This will be bothersome, she remarked, raising her left hand as the suit created 6 slots for the gems. She meticulously arranges them and expertly resolves any issues that arise. I open my eyes, and I find myself floating in front of a majestic bird engulfed in flames. However, I am utterly exhausted with this situation and feel an overwhelming urge to release my frustration through a scream. I just want to have a good time with Naruto, damn it all. Naruto's perspective. I observe the genuine infinity gems, and it is evident that there is a noticeable distinction between these and the counterfeits. The gems are emitting a significantly greater amount of power compared to the stones alone. I create the armor that envelops me, crafting it as a vessel for others. When they inhabit it, I can sense the immense strength they possess. I can sense that, I say with admiration. It provides a sense of heightened energy, and the most appealing aspect is that I can utilize them without any complications. I shake my head and concentrate on restoring my universe, swiftly bringing everything back to its original state in just a few seconds. I'm back on Earth in the fortress, and I'll quickly explain what happened to Peter and Silver. The girls come in and enthusiastically invite me to join them for some much-needed relaxation. After leaving our room and ensuring that they were taken care of, I go to check on Doom. I find him peacefully resting, savoring a moment of coffee time with his mother. Indeed, he successfully liberated his mother from the clutches of Mephisto. I return to my lab after a month of spending time with my colleagues and diligently set the gems to continue producing more North metal, which I will later transform into 10th metal. I am displeased by that. The 10th metal is highly potent, extremely impressive. However, I have identified a flaw in it. It cannot remain in its pure 10th metal state for an extended period, except for the one I possess, bestowed upon me by the Lord of Chaos. Fortunately, my 10th metal remains in its pure form. It aspires to transform into something different. Typically, it undergoes a transformation into different metals, and occasionally, it even takes on the form of stars on its own. And I don't mean ordinary stars. No, they transform into massive hypergiant stars that almost destabilize the dimension where I created the All Box, producing even more. I had the responsibility of managing several dozen hypergiants and ultimately had to strategically relocate them to dormant galaxies across the universe. I would have eliminated them or reverted them to their original state, but I discovered something significant. They are impervious to the powers of the Infinity Gems, which certainly came as a surprise to the Marvel multiverse. Many individuals, including some abstract entities, have attempted to exert influence over the hypergiants, but their efforts have proven unsuccessful. I witnessed a large gathering of 1,000 Celestials attempting the same, but unfortunately, they were unsuccessful. I have the ability to influence them, given my extensive experience in this field. However, I must admit that I am currently unsure of my own capabilities. Nevertheless, since they have their origins in the 10th metal, which is entirely unfamiliar to this multiverse, they are completely immune to any influence from them. This situation is somewhat concerning, as even when certain abstracta attempted to manipulate reality, they were unable to have any impact on them. These hypergiants could potentially be the most perilous stars in the Marvel multiverse due to a significant factor. They are highly skilled and proficient, excelling in 3 distinct categories like the Sun orbiting the Earth. Magic. These stars show their incredible talent by bridging the worlds of DC and Marvel. It is important to note that Lucifer Morningstar is responsible for creating the original Sun, which he named the Lightbringer Power. These have shown remarkable progress in just 2 weeks. However, there is one concern with that. Some abstracta are extremely frustrated. Given their inability to exert any influence over them, they must allow them to exist as ordinary hypergiants. Based on my observations, Eternity seems to be thoroughly enjoying his time with the stars. Their influence has inadvertently enhanced his powers, resulting in a version of him that stands out from his other counterparts. I genuinely appreciate his contentment with our relationship. It's unfortunate that the others don't measure up. Although I am no longer a Dimension Lord, I don't have access to much information. It's quite unusual that I no longer have the entire dimension to manage and am now solely focused on my main bodies. After being exposed to the Phantom Zone, I experienced a complete depletion of my stored energy reserves. However, I was fortunate enough to absorb the energy of a quasar, which resulted in a transformation into my current base form. Now, even without any energy stored, I have the ability to annihilate entire universes if I so desire. However, now that my energy is being replenished by the Son of Earth, I have complete confidence in my ability to dismantle the entire Marvel multiverse if I so choose. Regrettably, from a certain point of view, I am now considered a mere mortal, despite the abstracta's reluctance to acknowledge or accept this fact. Frankly, it's difficult for me to believe it myself. I possess the ability to manipulate time, space, and reality with a mere thought. I possess the ability to perceive across vast distances and through different periods of existence. I can move at an incredibly rapid pace. I possess the ability to create life itself and bring about the demise of souls. Thanks to my heightened awareness, I am able to perceive other universes from my current vantage point. By now, it seems like I've reached the top of most of my goals. I have the ability to create technological advancements that surpass the imagination of most individuals. Now, I am uncertain about the next steps to take. I believe I can now handle both the Omega Effect and the Alpha Effect, Astro Force, without any problems. I can only imagine the immense impact they would have on me at this moment. However, I am currently unable to integrate them into my own being. I already have a lot to practice with incorporating various effects into my personal development. Maybe it's time for me to pause my quest for strength, considering that my probes have now ventured into the world of One Punch Man. I can only imagine the vast amount of knowledge I can gain from exploring the multiverse. The end. We have reached the conclusion of this incredible story, which was suggested to me by someone whose name I regrettably cannot recall. Nonetheless, I am grateful for their recommendation. I would also like to express my gratitude to all of you for your supportive comments, likes, and feedback, as they have motivated me to push myself even further. And that's a wrap for now. Thank you so much for tuning into this incredible video. If you absolutely loved it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for even more amazing content coming your way.